the loading screen. Uh, I know for a fact YouTube definitely cut off the first part of the stream earlier. Last night. Super cool. Up and a Twitch. Forever to bring things up on like good at very efficient. Works fine, probably. Okay. Make sure everything up as far as promote goes. Out. Okay. Now I should be all set. Hopefully my audio actually functions right for this. And actually bother to set it up this time the right way, hopefully. You know. See. Uh, I don't actually have a ton to talk about this stream, unlike my like 20 minutes ramble from like or Ebe. That's all just get gone. There. I've been thinking of doing Picross for basically. I started streaming with Parfait. I love Picross. I have the original Mario's Picross through the console and 3DS. I have the one on the NES Online. Good. It's like something I return to like occasionally, and it's lasted me for literal years. The GBA one on, or not GBA, the Game Boy one on that I have on 3DS. I thought it'd be nice and relaxing for like something to do every so often. Have it. No. Well, you can't see it yet. Actually, I don't think I switched my... Right. Oh god, it's like super loud for me. One sec. Thankfully, since I actually screwed around with my audio sources this time, you guys don't hear me editing that. Don't have to deal with the blast of Mario's Picross audio. So, I'll see if it even... Nope. The one thing I forgot to do. Just give me assemble my shit on stream. Nope, not what I want to do. Don't mind me exposing myself by fucking like doing this live. Really picks the wrong shit. Like no braining. It's like, oh yeah, that looks right. It looks at like the icons of... Yeah, so this is my most scuffed stream yet, I think, because I've never forgotten to do this part. I was so preoccupied and like, oh, I had this like awful audio situation last time. And it's just like, when it comes to this, it's just like, oh, surely I already set that up, right? No, not quite. But yeah, definitely not emulation or anything. I do all my games legal. I got... How would... I mean, I guess with the DS you could do something. Which I would know. So that's what I'm doing. I considered skipping the easy stuff. Less interesting, but I'm gonna see how fast I can go through it. I think that's the rail. Yeah, this one never released in the US, so it's we're gonna have fun with... Oh, there's a story. Oh, what's up? Have to... Oh, no, it's just literally, that's the menu. I never want to do, like, the hero. Feels less satisfying. Honestly, I never, like, considered Picross as a streaming game until I saw, Holly Holotones, like, doing... murder... Oop! By numbers. My brain works while I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time, huh? Good omens. But it's like, oh, actually, this actually kind of works. No. How it feels for me. I put on a description on Twitch, I'm pretty sure that I do a lot of puzzle games, but it's like I'm mostly into stuff like, you know, Sudoku, that kind of thing, and not like... So I like, you know, other stuff like, you know, object and shit, even though I don't play it often. It'd be fun to use that as an opportunity to, like, that stuff in there. I don't always want to be reading on stream, I don't think. That can be kind of exhausting. I also don't always want to be, like, doing games like, you know, Fall Guys, where it's, you know, not story-based, not puzzle, but, like, very... have to focus and do good. You know, another thing like turn-based stuff where it's like I don't have to have good timing and also don't have to read shit because it's not an RPG. Don't get me wrong, I'll do plenty of that, but balance is good. I had considered like, oh, you know, I could do like either of the Mario Picross games I've already played. Those are the ones that are like familiar to me, and they're also in English. But it's like I don't want to have to redo puzzles because it'd be so boring. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't remember, but you know, still. Hmm. Not related to all that though. I have been watching, or not watching, listening to a podcast recently where it's basically it's streaming 101 by Professor Broman and T-Rex, which is from it was recorded in like late 2015, early 2016. It's interesting as like both genuinely like a information source of like people who are experienced talking about how they do it, how they keep themselves sane, that kind of thing. And also the fact that it's like only 5 years old, and it's already like you can feel it being kind of outdated. As, like I can't think of any good examples right now, but it's like occasionally they'll say shit. I'm just like, that's how it works now. I'm like a very small streamer. I know that. Streaming now, check out what their stuff looks like. It's wild because it's like they'll talk about like, one of them like a year to get partnered on Twitch, and it was like, oh, okay, that's pretty fast, but sounds, or like my reaction is like, that sounds pretty fast. Wow, that'd be nice to get partnered that quickly. And then it turned out the other like 3 people, because they'd had a couple of guests on that one, that they were talking to, got partnered in like fucking, God, what was it? Like 1, 2, 3 months, effectively. It was just like, what? That's very lonely. It's just like, how the fuck? Of course, it was a different landscape back then. Like, as it is right now, it's like, part of the problem with Twitch is it's hard to get discovered because there's so many people. Like, even, and like, no longer is being a VTuber enough to get you, like, anywhere, since it's like, there are a lot of VTubers on Twitch. Weird, and it's like, of course, and, which was popular then as well. Like, it was coming into its own and becoming something people could make a living off of. But it was just, like, nowhere near the same, like, possibility of whatever. Like, of getting discovered and all that. And, fortunately, can't really get discovered on Twitch at this point, by, like, if you're just relying on what they've got to offer. Weird thing. Like, they don't do shit. Supposedly they want to fix that, but, well. Yeah, you definitely have to rely on, like, advertising yourself, which I guess is, I mean, they should be better. It should be, like, could be something they're doing to promote smaller streamers and not like leaving them on their own. I guess there's merit in figuring out how to self-promote. Need to do like no matter what they could offer, you would still need to learn to do that. Want to make a living off this? Great to do that. But definitely can't rely on just like algorithmic whatever, unless you're intentionally like using it to like manipulating it to work in your favor, which is just really the whole self-promotion thing, knowing how those algorithms work, them to your advantage. And so you've like I mentioned during Fall Guys that watching Devin Nash's stuff, and he's like really insightful. He knows a lot about promotion because that's where he works. Like he works in like marketing and like promoting streamers. And it's interesting, but it's also like I have such an aversion to like watching a lot of his content because it's so like the video thumbnails, the titles are so clickbaity. It's like, I don't know. It's like even knowing that I like this guy, that I want to click on that video, but it's like it's obviously because it's like he knows that works. That's why he's successful. Fuck. Thing of like, it's definitely a matter of like how much you want to sell your soul to capitalism. Like, live with the fact that you're gonna have to be like, up videos with those kind of captions. You don't have to. But start trying to work. It's like he has a couple. There's one main video of what I've watched where he's like advising a streamer, Code Miko, and like how she can grow her shit, and it's like he has a lot of interesting insight on it. It's also like, oh wow, he really did tell her to just make like clickbaity like titles for videos that she puts up on YouTube. Well, you're not wrong, but hard to get over the reaction of like, that sounds scummy. Thing. What is self-promotion? What is it being your own brand? No. All a mess. We be out here telling ourselves. Over, so I'm not like looking over here. I love virtual white advance and the way it works. Wait, not what I wanted to do. How do I hit that? Yep. Uh-huh. Like, there we go. Oh, I wasn't responding for a sec. Good video games that function correctly. Looking on itch.io because I was remembering there was a discussion going on a couple weeks back about how Apple, I think, was like calling it like saying like oh, I can't even describe the horrible stuff that gets put up on there. It's like gay content, you know, that they're like acting as like demonic, like shit, whatever. It's like anyway, it was just like people had left off of that and been like, "Hey, support LGBT creators on .io," that kind of thing. It's like as I was thinking of like, oh, you know, what else can I stream? I was like, oh yeah, I still have to like, still wanted to look through and see what I could find because like, I do want to do that. I do want to, like some of the shit that's like gay games are on there. Fuck. Rest assured, any of the stupid mistakes I do is because I'm talking, and not because I can't count. I'm very, very good at Picross, but I'm not just multitasking. Genius. Yeah, because I'm at window placement. Not the button I want to press. These days, I'm actually gonna run out of time because of dumb mistakes like that. Yeah, I like, did immediately find one that looks really cute that I have to look into. Beacon Pines that apparently had a Kickstarter a while back. I do want to try that. But I do also want to try, like, smaller scale stuff, because it'd be nice to both try out, like, unique games. Not that that isn't, it looks very unique. You know, like, stuff that isn't already, like, got a lot of support and very popular, that kind of thing. Although there's definitely, it's like, it gets hard to find shit that's like good since it's like you start having to be like the person who decides and not like filtering by popularity and like trusting that'll knock out a lot of the garbage. Bounds to be kept. Video games. I definitely like if people like find shit and well, I would be open to links and people shilling their favorite video games. There's so much over the years that it's like, oh, that sounds really cool. I want to try it, and I never did. One of the nice things about doing like indie games for stream, like they're a lot more. They're often like pretty short, usually, you know, budget, time constraints, whatever. But it makes them good for like something I can do for a week and not like feel like I have to keep coming back to like finish it to like have gotten everything out of it, or like you know like it's kind of not satisfying to like play a little bit of the game and then like never return to it. Yeah, it's like that's something that's good for like do 2 streams and it's like 1 to 3 on it. It's like we did the whole thing and we had fun, and we can move on to other cool shit that's on the list. That's pretty ideal. I mean, stuff like Picross is also nice on the level of like it can last a while, but it doesn't feel weird to like only return to it occasionally. Not like you're missing out on like you're like keeping people leaving people hanging and it's just like God, I have to know what the next puzzle solution is. Just chill. Chill out for a while. Also, like, definitely want to experiment with like a lot of different genres just to figure out like what works the best for me personally in a streaming setting versus like something that I enjoy on my own time, but I just like can't, do live. Also definitely want to do multiplayer stuff, like, actual co-op streams, but I gotta meet people who are actually streaming. I've got friends who stream, and I think it'd be fun to do shit with them. I also, I always, at least, want to meet people through the stuff I do, and, I love my friends. I love the friends I already have. But it'd be cool to meet someone through this and, go from there. Not just restrict myself to the people I already know. I'm just not very good at actually following through on that. I'll always think that, I'll make an alt character in Final Fantasy and be like, this time, I'm not gonna, join an FC with friends, I'm gonna people on this world and, have fun. And I never do it. In part just because, alt character, and I don't go on them often. So, Yeah, it's I generally have such a thing about that. Where it's I would love to do things with friends, but just also so adamant about taking the opportunity to not at least every so often. Easy thing to fall back on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just I like the idea of meeting people. Even if I'm bad at making the reality happen. Of course, every time I do inevitably end up just doing shit with the people I know. I have plenty of fun, it's just I don't regret it at all. Thing. I don't know if that's just a me thing. That's the thing I've ever really talked about with people, which is not because I'm embarrassed of it, but it's just it's not something I would bother to bring up. I wonder. I mean, in that respect, I know I post my stream in now 2 different VTubers, so you're watching from there and you think I'm neat. Don't be afraid to if you've never talked before, hit me up, talk about shit. I'm not begging. I don't want to be I have no friends, but I know even me personally, I get so awkward about I mean, not super awkward, but just starting to talk to new people because I'm this is the thing literally everyone knows on some level, I'm pretty sure. Of oh god, what if I'm annoying and they have their own friend group already and they don't want it, they don't care. It's no. Me personally, I definitely have there's definitely a types of people I click with and don't, but I'm just I'm not gonna hate you if it's oh, you're just not my type of person. Yeah, just like open letter, just like do not be afraid to like reach out to me if you're wanting more friends in your community. Like I will at least like carry a conversation with you and see if we click. God, I sound so lonely saying that, but it's not like I don't mean it in that way. Dating app, but for just literally making connections. Really, it's like it's so hard. 'Cause, like on one hand, it's like you don't want to talk to people who have huge followings. So you look like a tool if you're like adding people who are way bigger than you are. Like, hey, what's up? Even if you mean well by it, 'cause it just looks like you're trying to take advantage of them, and, like so you can become bigger. Not that I'm not guilty of doing that. I literally just did that. Mari redebuted recently, and her new design is really cute. I am in love with it. So I watched that while I was like waiting to leave at work, and I was like, shit, I like her. And she sang a song from Rhythm Heaven. I was like, so I tweeted about it. I was like, so cool. I love this. This is a cool surprise. She liked it. I was just like, God, I hope she doesn't think my like 3 follower ass is trying to like booch off her by the fact that I like added her, you know? Because no, it's just like in the moment I felt confident in like actually adding her, so she sees that like, hey, I thought your stream was cool. You know? But yeah, it's like it feels bad like adding like bigger streamers for that exact reason. At the same time, it's like it's hard to find smaller streamers because they're smaller. And, well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of venues to find them. It's hard to find ones that you would like. This is like it's such by the nature of them being like less popular. It's like definitely, and I'm like, you know, speaking as one myself. It's like hard to. It's hard to. I want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. It's like it's hard to find like streamers who are good and entertaining, but like haven't found success yet. It's like a mix of like, you know, people who have just debuted and you just you know, as a matter of luck or like the fact they're new, haven't found success yet. And then you know also people who aren't successful because they're just like they're new to it and therefore they're not super great at it yet. Which I'm not gonna deny that that applies to me. Can I get to the lore? Is that just like decoration? Yeah, it's like you want to support smaller streamers, but you really do have to do your legwork and digging. Well, find someone who is like genuinely someone you can watch and not just like out of like a feeling of, oh well, you know, I want to support smaller streamers, but because you genuinely enjoy their content. And that like you know, someone who has the like good combo of they're good and they make content you like. Lots of cool streamers who I just don't watch because they're not like for me. It's not sliding. Did it not do that? There we go. I know I asked if it didn't do that when I literally have seen it in the same damn. Well, you know. Yeah, no, it's networking's hard. Making new friends is hard. I mean, to saying networking, like you know, being as just a business opportunity. But you know, it's like you know people's hard. And people you like's hard. They're all struggling. All having a real time of it. Not to say that I haven't though. I mean, I haven't made friends. But I've definitely found like people or who I like really enjoy their content. Yeah, slowly but surely. You know, if I'd just done the 15s first, I would have immediately seen like all this. I guess it just like, a lot of it comes down to like doing the legwork of like checking people out, not just like relying on like oh I already like these big streamers who would justifiably like never like have reason to want to be adding them even if I think we'd get along, you know. And then like having the confidence to be like, hey, what's up, and like not be a bitch about it and have like come into it with like expectations. That's definitely like a problem with like streaming. It's like you definitely have to watch out for people who are like if you have any clout at all. I don't have to worry about this yet, but like you definitely have a lot of people who like up to like larger streamers like, hey, maybe your friends hint hint about my shit for me, you know. Have any tact at all. That's life. That's working in any industry really. Like you definitely I don't think I don't remember if I mentioned that I went to art school. But I did. And obviously part of what we were like taught about is just like how to succeed. Part of it was like you gotta know people. Gotta know people, you have to network, you have to like go to things and like meet people. Also not like ruin your relationships with people over like nothing because it sucks to say it, but they can be the ones who deny you positions later on. Oh, this is one of the like multi-part. Oh, I never like throughout all this I did not look at the top left. Oh, this is happening so early. Being like a more like special bonus stage shit from other games I played. Like not Mario Picross, but I know Pokemon Picross did that, whereas like there's special like huge stages. Oh, it's fucking me up having it on the other side. Zelda Picross did that too. It was neat having special Picrosses through my Nintendo Rewards. Was it after they switched? I think it was. Um, wish they'd do that more. I can't remember. Was it just? It might have just been that Twilight Princess one. Well, there might have been another. Can't remember. yeah, you taught a lot about networking in school and like lecture like, hey, don't like fucking up people and like literally just be in it for inter contact. Make friends. Like, be real. Tricky balance to achieve because it's like, I mean, it's not hard to be genuine to people and like, well, you know, it's hard in a different sense, but like, it's not hard to like not be a shithead, you know. But it is hard to like come across properly and like be confident in the fact that like, okay, you know, I'm like composing myself well so this person won't think I'm like trying to use them, you know. Like, no matter how much you are genuinely just like, this person's cool and I want to talk to them. That context of like, first artist at a show, VTuber in like a Discord or on Twitter, are justifiably wary. Like, they have every reason to like have their guard up and not like trust that you're not about to just like, hey, cool conversation. Anyway, could you raid me next stream? Thanks, bye. So, I think it's definitely like a lot of like, both like learning how to not come across that way and also like learning to have confidence that you aren't coming across that way. It's like definitely there's like factor of like you like will assume that like God they probably just thought I was a total scumbag. They'll be going like on the way like, but that person was cool anyway. Not even thinking about it. A lot to think about. It's in like trying to be successful. Like how to be a human. Life's rough. Life's rough trying to sell yourself, but also not sell yourself. Part of the importance of like doing that though is like fucking need like people who would know what you're going through. Like obviously you can talk to your friends like, yeah, I'm a VTuber now. If you don't care about the secrecy of it all, talk to your friends like, I'm a VTuber now. Here's all you okay with me inventing about like the shit that's happened to me, and like hopefully if they're your friends, they'll be like, at least you know if they're in the right state to handle that with it. But it's like there's like you know there's something else you can get from friends in the community who like know what's up and can offer more like tangible advice. Like is right with you over like that weirdo who came into your stream and like clearly was just trying to advertise or like was just a dickhead. You know. As well as like bouncing ideas back and forth. It's fun. Yeah, that's something I'm like trying to work towards is like having people I can talk to. Like I've brought up a couple times now. I'm in a couple Discord servers and it's like I've been like slowly trying to talk to people and like I think part of my problem with this so far is um like the aspiring VTuber server has a lot of like teens. It's like I'm cool talking to them. They're like rad. It's like I think it's really cool that they're pursuing that like from a young age as like you know part of me is like worried is like God, on the internet. Be careful. You're like 16. But you know, I think it's cool. But it's like also there's like a disconnect of like, oh, you're a high schooler. And I'd, you know, it's just like I can talk to someone, and it's like, you're also, there's like definitely differing levels of maturity here, and it's like I'm not 100% comfortable all the time. Like, making friends with people who are significantly younger, you know? Not that I'm that old, but you know, definitely a difference. I don't know. I wouldn't like 100% like never friends with like but it's like definitely something where it's like I definitely don't want that to be like a significant amount of my friends because I would hope they're making friends with people large by and large. And it also looks bad for good reason. Oh, the streaming community is feeling full of creeps. In fact, thankfully, feels like the sparring VTuber on team is like be on the ball about like, hey, this person was outed as a creep, we've removed them. You know, here's a public statement say so you know. And just, like that kind of thing. And thankfully it hasn't happened a ton so far. It's happened once. I've joined the server a couple weeks back. And I am going to take that as an anomaly. Now. Because it's definitely concerning even if they're like, hey, you're out. If there's like a ton of them, like it's like every other week there's someone else, you know? Like, okay, maybe we need to look at like who you're letting in and like how early you're figuring it out. Past a certain point you can't really only so much you can do, but you know. I would not want it to be in their place though. I would be cool with setting up my own Discord community, but like running like a broader thing. Oh, God no. Lots of people take advantage of that space. I don't want to be the one who like on the front lines of it. So props to them for taking up the role for that. Yeah, the like age thing though. That's the like that's why I'm glad their Discord has like 18 plus roles and channels that aren't for like NSF not the one I went to press. NSFW content. Literally just here's a space where you can talk to other adults without an expectation of it being like specifically for NSFW NSF NSFW like discussions and content. Like that's definitely like a very useful space to have. Where it's like it feels you can like dip in if it's like, okay, I want to talk to people who feel like they're more on even ground with me. That's a little risky. I miscounted. But that does that. Yeah, that's like space I've like been trying to set up for myself before in like different communities or like trying to seek out like definitely needed at times. Next one that fuck. I'm capable of reading. It sucks when like the only applicable I can't talk today. Applicable spaces are like specifically for stuff that like outright can't. There's like a big space where it's like, yeah, in theory you could have like these kind of conversations, like the broader like server, fan base, whatever. But sometimes it's not. It's a like have a more restricted space on just the level of I won't ramble more on that though. It's like it's hard to talk about that without saying like I hate kids. Won't talk to me. No. Like I'm not like that person kids or not. Like we'll never have who are like they'll treat and like not capable of like thinking themselves as it's okay to be uncomfortable sharing space with the kids, but don't be a fucking asshole about it. Like not respect their autonomy. Unfortunately, I tend towards like people will be entirely too comfortable talking about certain shit with kids and like making their entire friend group like people who are significantly younger than them. And there's also people who are like never friends with someone when you or even if you're like appropriately cautious about like remembering that that's the case and like not being like fucking disgusting about it. Internet. Not too much of it. I am going to do myself a favor and not think about that stuff. Thanks a good rest of stream. Else being weird on the internet. Not knowing. And so I'm out here like hey, I know I've got a full-time job and I'm also doing uh a very arduous 6 hours a week. Um also at that Nijisanji content creation application. Like, I sure don't have a reasonably uh I don't know why I thought I sure don't have like a decent resume for that, but I might throw my name in the hat for hell of it. So it's like I was taking it as like a nice excuse to watch one of Pomu's streams, find like something good to clip, and they have their playlist of like the kind of content we want from you. And it's like very simple edits. That's basically literally just like cropped to phone resolution plus captions added. Like you're like, now, if I do more than that, would that look like I'm not good at following instructions? Or is that just me doing a good job of showing off my talent? Yeah, I can do a little video editing. I'm decent in After Effects. So, it'd be fun as extra thing to do. Way to contribute to. I already really like Jisanji, and it'd be nice to be involved with that level. Very, very, very minor. It's also like troubling is that like the clips are obviously all in Japanese, so it's like hard to get a grip for like what kind of content they're looking for, other than just like generally funny. Although I guess that's part of like thing they're looking for is like have a good sense of what would make for something that'd be a good clip. You know? Comes to that. Not expecting much, but like as far as putting my application in. But, you know, we'll see. Hope they don't mind me talking about that on stream. Although I imagine it doesn't level of like you're not like a V2 them and they're like shit if there's secrecy about who's doing it. Anyway, if this pod someday or gets seriously cut, wink. No. If it comes down to that, it wouldn't be that obvious. I'm like at least enough of decent to like respect their wishes as far as like being the like magic alive of like technically don't know who these people are, even though I don't know if they've figured out who they are and or whether I personally care to like for that. But you know, better or worse, that's the case with Hololive English, where people figure it out in a day. I won't make a moral statement on like digging up and like spring around that info. Part of me's like, hey, you know, like respect their wishes, but also there's definitely the part of like, well, it's a company that's like doing this for their own, like, that might not be like 100% in the well of their talent, you know. It does create the issue of like, well, you can't really that on your resume or anything, huh? You can't say that like, oh, I very successful internet personality and I did this and this and this part of it. Wonder how that'd work out in the future. Like obviously a lot of them are gonna graduate and like ones who are like did collabs with like whoever or like had like popular song releases, whatever. I'm sure would like to be able to say that in terms of like a job in whatever other industry. Kind of can't. Part of me kind of expects that someday they're gonna be like they'll do like some big reveal, either Anish Sanji or live of like or they'll like not for like long, but hey, here's a like one where you can follow them from here on out under. Like is the whole like fiction of it all so important that they would like never allow that to happen, or is like they do that so that they can like say, hey, this like popular person was like someone we contracted out thing for them. I say example could definitely succeed on like her own right, even without like the character behind her. It's like cover want her to still keep that a secret, or would they want to be like, yeah, we were first, we you know, ones who initially brought her success. That's like weird. I mean, I know there's like shoujo where it's like they, as far as I know, I haven't looked into their stuff, but it's like it sounds like they don't really make any particular effort to hide like who the people are. It's like it's Yanners, it's like all the others. It's like I've heard it's like a lot of like well-known internet names, like anime fandom type stuff. It's like there's people like me where it's like I don't like publicly list like my regular Twitter profile, but I never made a big secret of it. I just turned my old Twitch into this, and it's like I wanted to easily find like my real name, not my full. God, I hope not. But like you find like I go by normally, It's like even talking about this stuff is like obviously I don't give a shit about the keeping up the illusion of like the character, but it has to be perfect. It has to be like not me, in a weird kind of way, but also me. Have like a cute face to show, Not have to worry about being on an actual webcam and like having to look good when I stream. Especially considering when I stream. I had to look decent at 2 a.m. I think I'd die. Get to me about it. That's all of us. Definitely, there's like at a point where it's like it's still super young. It's like we're going. It feels like we're still in the initial explosion of like, oh, you know, everyone's doing this now. Everyone, their mom's like trying out VTubing, and like, slowly but surely, you're seeing your own twist on it, and like, stretch the boundaries of like what it is, what even. Got people like Kodmiku, like, haven't personally checked out her content, but like, what I've heard of it, it's like, barely even call her a VTuber, but she sort of is. Like, hard to place her. Like, what is, what isn't it? Like, is the whole idol, like, pseudo idol thing important? Is it not? Secrecy important? Like, counting. Okay. It's right here. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens when, like, the whole, like, everyone wants to be a model and whatever tries to debut, kind of starts to slow down. Like, what'll happen after that? Like, I don't think it'll die. Like, will still survive. Like, how popular will it be once, like, the, like, I want to do that part of the deal, like, less of a thing? There'll always be people, like, who are really interested in trying it out themselves and, like, you know, throw a model and have fun with it. But, you know, inevitably it'll eventually, like, at least, like, less you know. Or that question is where I'm gonna go. If I succeed, I'll continue. I'm just asking, not just finding out. We'll just have to see. Have to be like actually get popular and people like looking back at this a while back, like a while like, later on, like, damn, this is where Parfait started, or like, if I eventually just like, eh, gotten all I've like really want out of it. Like tossing my hat, you know. That's risky. You know, the middle option of like just leave this up as like you know, I've got a model for like if I want to stream, like have that up. Mostly, I'm just like very interested to see where it all goes. If like the current like Bungie and Alive remain like the face of VTubing permanent or like permanently, or if it's like there'll be something else that actually manages to overtake them. The fact that like Kuda is first Hololive YouTuber to get to 1 million subscribers and like is still their most popular one, passing even like Rene. Like she is not. She's like an English speaker. She doesn't even speak any Japanese. Like on like bare bones basics. Like popularity among like Japanese fan base is primarily just like I think she's if they can't actually understand what she's saying. Which I guess is like their equivalent to how we treat uh Japanese VTubers. Oh, we're all the same. As I was saying that, I realized like, oh shit, that's literally just like me whenever I watch like I don't know. Don't do so that often, but like definitely do like occasionally. She's entertaining to watch, even not like subtitled stuff. Or that's also literally just like I don't wanna fuck her down. Like she is genuinely a very good entertainer. Yeah, it's like, well, if that's the case, like certainly the star power of Hololive is a lot of what like or like helped Gura a lot. Besides that, she is also good at what she does. Like there's a popular besides just that she's cute and is a and that she's a part of Hololive. But you know, like without having that, could someone succeed with the like wider reach of speaking English or like Chinese YouTube very well on the basis of like it's like raw numbers. Like there's a lot of people they could reach. I was looking at the wrong column. I was looking at the 4-4 on the row instead of the 8-3 on the column. I do wonder if it's like JoJo has have like the star power of like you know who they are and it's like people are already very widely loved on the internet and like by the same general crowd of people who would be watching VTuber. It's like, could they surpass that basis? Fuck, I keep going for that. I also wonder how Tuffer would like respond to that. Like, they're obviously in going the luxury of being like um the most popular VTuber company. Like, not she's big, but like absolutely like have that title. Like, there's no question to it. Like, you know, what they would do if that wasn't the case. Like, would they make a point of like marketing harder to the English speaking community? They already are. Like, would they? Yeah, what would they do? What? It's the first time I've ever gotten a game over. Yeah, definitely talking while I'm doing this is like fatal. No. I am so glad to save my progress on the other ones. I was so certain it wouldn't. Actually reminds me, like, I think I talked a bit about this on eh, seven. No, it's 8. That's like guaranteed has one in the middle. But fucking Nishisanji Ian immediately debuting their group with a song like right off the bat is really interesting because like Live up until now has been the one that's like more strongly associated with being like basically an idol company. Both are to a certain extent, but it's like you see like the comparisons to the concerts where it's like Nishisanji crew is basically just fucking around and like whatever. They have singers, they have like cover artists, nowhere near the same level. Like them doing that is like almost like change in direction for them. What I've seen, and this is very interesting because like that's obviously something that like they're trying to do in something in particular. Like a question of like what it is. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to see that like idol VTubers, but like why start to do that with EN in specific? Like, have they noticed that the idol VTubers, like the English speaking ones, are very successful, like based on Hololive? Obviously, Callie does well as someone who like frequently releases music and like is very dedicated to it. Like, I admittedly have never listened to any of Husky's stuff. I don't think she like the fact that she's like particularly Hololive's singer and like no hate her, no offense. Making music isn't like a game of quantity, but she's like it's like not a comparison. Her output compared to Ellie, like as someone who's supposed to like who's like not advertised as like a V singer, like it can't be compared. The weird thing of like is the fact that they're English speakers doesn't make them more successful. Like both Callie and Kiara, and now of course Ina is debuting as well. being a weird word, but like used in the context of VTubers where it means something else. No, but like she's putting out a song, or like solo song for the first time. Like obviously that's been highly demanded because like good singer, people love her karaoke streams. So I wonder what the numbers look like. Yeah, like honestly thinking about it, there's no doubt in my mind that like they see that like whether or not it's true that they see that like marketing your English speaking YouTubers as like and like putting out music with them is like very successful and like something they could profit a lot off of. So they're like immediately going for that the moment they launched their group. Like this wasn't even something that like as far as I remember, I'm certain that like it wasn't a requirement on their application to be able to sing. It was a bonus. It was like one of the like skills you could say that you're good at. And then they come out and like they're all singers and they're all like they've got a song. It does make you wonder how much influence they all had in the actual performers. Like if it was something they requested. It's also possible that it was like they all were able to sing and wanted and like thought that like, hey, we can all sing. What if we did this? They're like, hey, yep, we'll do that. That'll make it. Think. Of course, they gave their approval. You know. I won't deny it's a little sad to like look at. It's all like a numbers game, but it is also interesting. Such a new. It's like what the fuck even? These are video game streamers, and we're like talking about like their success as like idols, like singers. But it's even their career. You know? Yeah, no, like first of that as well. It's like that's such a thing that like Hololive and Nijisanji do that like it's not such a big thing for them, but it's like not really viewed as something that's like essential by any means. Of course, a lot of people under those companies don't sing at all, and like obviously indie VTubers, some of them do cover songs, but obviously it's like without the backing of a company, it's gonna be a lot fewer who actually like put out their own original shit. And weird. Definition of not something that any of us really have a solid answer to. Good game stream, anime avatars, and that's definitely not all of it. The only part that's easy. And it's like, you could leave it at that, but it'd be underselling it by a lot. Is like good reason often attributed to starting up the whole craze. She was a weird thing where it's like, is quote unquote marketed as AI. Obviously, like, they didn't give her a robot voice to make it sound like at all believable, but that was the sell of the character. Or that come from like, that. Anyway, but like, certainly there are other people with like virtual avatars doing like VR chat and shit like that. That probably inspired that. And she right off the bat was like the first like major super like probably, you know, difficult to say like, oh, she originated 100% like, you know, no doubt, whatever. But, you know, like right off the bat started the trend basically. Already like pseudo idol, like also certainly I would assume inspired by like the idol franchises. And we got Love Live that's very like about like having the voice actresses be the characters, you know, perform the dances live and like do the even like the facial expressions and like having them live enact the character with like a face tracking model is like honestly a pretty logical step. Not too surprising that it happened. Um, we already sort of have something similar to that with like um Mashima Himeko from Sanrio, who is like originally like a streamer VTuber type character, got incorporated into Shobei Rock as like a the idol character basically. Not an idol franchise, but it's an idol franchise. Well, that was just a bang dream. Um, and she still exists as far as I can tell, and like literally even had like one like join her on a stream. So that's basically like if they did that with Love Live, and I would not be at all shocked if they did that with Yella. Like they've got a TikTok, so that's another. That's like step two of appealing to the current generation is like having them be VTubers. There's definitely a question of like how far do they go with it? How like what are their expectations as far as like they stream once a month? Do they like do it as an occasional curiosity? They actually have like a regular schedule. Got like the whole new esports thing, where it's like literally actually just like voice actors, actresses like streaming video games. Like the cell is like, hey, it's like they voice the character, you know. Have others as guests on their streams. How many voice actors? Yeah, voice actresses I know like do that. All off. Yeah, that's another like next logical step of like, well, people already like when the voice actresses themselves do that. Why not like literally apply the character? At this point, I'm just like waiting for it to happen. I guess it has happened with again Mashima Himeko and Hawan, but I want to see with the franchise I'm slightly more attached to, much as I love Joe Rock. That want to is the right word. I think it'd be cool, but I'm not like it's set on it has to happen, and I think I need. I'd be interested to happen. I mean, I mentioned the likelihood of it happening with Leella earlier, and it's like they already have the framework with like fucking Mirror being like popular online. Ooh, I'm pretty sure she streams. Although I already does that. Haven't done anything with that yet. But we'll see. Voice is kind of dying, so I'm probably gonna call it quits after I finish this one. I was like, oh well, I could probably take like a break, but now I think I need to break like a full on like all are good. Fun though, like I'll do this again. um, I don't want to leave this unfinished. I am gonna focus. I'm gonna like dead on. No commentary, no exhausting my voice anymore. I'm just gonna focus and focus. That's it. And again, I need to stop like trying to speedrun it. It's like I'm gonna look so cool. to actually care about what I was doing. And my voice feels marginally better. Oh, that's that don't feel good to look at though. That's to say. Oh well, something to work on, get better at. But that though, I think we're done for tonight. Earlier than I usually end. Like I said, give my voice a little break. Rest. Well, thank you to anyone who's came by to watch, anyone who's watching the VOD, that kind of thing. Always really appreciate it. I'll keep the closing message short. But at that, yep, I hope you enjoyed.